Welcome to Survival Theory. I'm on a dried up lake bed and I've got all this exposed pine. It was underwater for 10 or 11 years because 10 or 11 years ago this lake bed dried up and the trees were here before then. So they were submerged, it dried up, and then they were submerged for 10 or 11 years and now they're exposed again because of the drought here. So what I'm going to do is find some fatwood that was below the water line, and there's quite a bit of it, and we'll see how well it lights. Old fatwood, submerged for over a decade. Let's check it out. Probably not much fatwood in that. Doesn't really have a fatwood smell. Now when this stuff's been underwater a long time, it's hard to tell if it's actually fatwood or, you know, if it just didn't rot that much because it was underwater. Underwater means less oxygen, less decay. I'd say that probably just slow to rot because it was underwater, but no fatwood or minimal amount or something. We'll find some better pieces. You can see already. Yeah. Ooh. So we've collected some pieces here. Not too bad. Here's a little stick. Here's one that's actually pretty dark in there. Take a look at that one. Smells not too strong. That one's kind of weak. Smells weak. That one looks pretty strong there on the edge. Smells kind of weak. So the smell is definitely weaker. Being underwater, being old. I think that's the strongest smelling one yet, and it's very dark. Now this one probably, it looks like this limb died before the tree fell. That's why it's so thick there. It was alive so it could pump the resin into the limb to stave off rot, you know, at the trunk. It's usually where the best fatwood is. That was easy. So I'm in a national park right now. There's a fire ban, but I don't think this counts, does it? So I got a small pile here. Let's see if this is lighting up. This is fatwood that's been submerged at least 10 years, at least. So let's check it out. I'm using a regular small ferro rod and the spine. And it does light up. It's crackling. Putting out black smoke. So I've got this piece here that I cut. Again, underwater for at least 10 years. There's a lot of rot around it. But there is some fatwood there in the middle. I'm going to split this one. And I'm not going to break it up and ferro rod it. I'm going to just get a match from it. See how that lights up. It does have a faint smell even for such a small piece. It's kind of windy. Let's see how well we can get this to light. Wind or no wind. Yeah, the edges are lighting up right away, putting out black smoke. It's so windy it's hard to stay lit, but I can't see that, but oh, it's crackling. Yeah, that's, see the resin starting to liquefy around it where I heat treated it. Yeah, look at all that resin there. So that's good fatwood. If it wasn't so windy, that would stay lit. So I'll take these two pieces here and throw them in the back of the truck for emergency tinder. Never know when you're going to need some fatwood. At least that's what she said. So I don't remember if I mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again. They say fatwood doesn't burn even when it's wet. Now that's not true. It burns because it doesn't get wet. The resin fills all the, the cells of the wood, so water can't penetrate into the wood and the wood cannot become wet. It's like a water repellent. It takes the place of the water. So it can't burn when it's wet. Then again, we'll never know because it can't get wet. It can get water on the surface or whatever, but basically the cells of the wood are filled with sap and no water. So that's why it burns when wet. I've got an old fatwood video. It's a great video in my opinion. So check that out to learn more about fatwood. But did you think fatwood that's 10 plus years old and submerged underwater for 10 plus years would burn? I figured it would, kind of knew it would. It's fun to verify that in the field. I know fatwood 30 or 40 years old will burn because that's often where I find rotten pine trees that used to be 3 foot around. Now it's just a sliver of fatwood going up the center and then the limbs coming out from it. But anyway, yeah, so it burns, no problem. Took a minute to light because of my old beat up ferro rod. But thanks for watching Survival Theory. Be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.